This is a fan-generated show. If you would like to support us, please go to jamieglazov.com, and also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. All your support is greatly appreciated.
Good evening. Welcome to the Glazov gang. Tonight, is Trump or the left separating families? The ugly truth the Democrats and media don't want you to know. With us this evening, what a pleasure and a privilege to have back, by popular demand, Will Johnson, the founder of Unite America First. Will, welcome back to the program.
Thank you for having me.
So, Will, all we're hearing, these, the media is distracted for a minute from Russian collusion. Now it's the separation of families and how evil Trump is because there's this poor child being separated from his parents. And of course, it's Trump's fault. Before we get to the issues and the hypocrisies and double standards and lies here perpetrated by the left, let's just give a little background to many of our viewers or some of our viewers that might not know all the ingredients and details here. So, Will, let's begin with this. What is this problem in general? Tell us about the child migrant facility, why there's a separation, why is this happening, and tell us about this facility, for instance, who gets to stay, who has to leave, what's going on?
So to my understanding, this facility is housing the people that are, you remember about, I guess maybe a month or 2 months ago when they were talking about there was a convoy of people that was headed toward the border of between Mexico and the United States. So these are the same people, to my understanding. And these same people that were coming up here, they've been there for a while. So for them to start talking about the children and they're being separated, this just didn't happen 3 days ago. The reason why they're talking about this is because of the IG report. They want to deflect. They want people to forget about the IG report. And the reason why they're separating the children, because it's just like when you have people that commit a crime, essentially what these people are doing, they've committed a crime. So they separate the children temporarily. They're not taking the children and kidnapping them, putting them on buses and sending them someplace else. So they're temporarily separating the children so they can talk to the parents and try to figure out what's going on, how many times they've done it. And this is frequently in this facility that they're in. A lot of the pictures that's been floating around on the internet have been from 2014 when Obama was in office. Obama was doing the same policies. And even Bush was doing the same policies. What's happening now is that they're trying to demonize the president and make it look like him and along with Republicans that don't care about this country are doing this thing here.
Absolutely, Will. So look, that's a fantastic summary. Thank you. Now we have the good, the headlights have been put on for us in terms for our viewers to know what we're going to be discussing this evening. So now there's this, now somebody's illegal. So the problem is that when they're trying to get over this border, somebody is illegal, so a separation occurs. The first question is, why don't they just deport the entire family back to their home country and then nobody has to be separated?
I'm not absolutely sure why they just don't go ahead and deport all of the children and the parents, all of them together. I think one of the main reasons, I'm speculating because I don't know why they don't. Personally, I think they should. I mean, don't just deport one, send them all.
Okay. Now, Will, it's very interesting that all this moral indignation by the Democrats and the left and the media, it's very interesting what assumptions their indignation is based on. For instance, all of their screaming and wailing right now, it's actually based on the assumption that uncontrolled border crossings should not be illegal, correct?
Yeah, so we know that the left, they want open borders. Wow. And they want open borders because they feel, and one of the main reasons why they want open borders, to my understanding, is because they want illegals to come in and vote. See, they're losing black people. They're losing black votes at an alarming rate. They're losing black people on the Democratic plantation like never before. And that's the problem. That's the issue that they have. And they see that they're losing black people. So they have to fill that void. They have to fill it. As long as these people come over here and they're not educated in the ways of America and the Democrats, they're going to keep coming because they believe that the Democrats are for them. Yes.
So Will, so hypothetically, if these people were Republican voters, let's say that these migrants and their kids, hypothetically, for whatever reason, 90% of them voted Republican, do you think the left and Democrats would be focusing on this today?
No, not at all.
Okay. But overall, they believe, at least they pretend they believe at this moment, that free passes should be given for illegal border crossing if migrants are with their supposed children. But it's incredible the implications here, because if the left gets what it wants, then we have a situation that has been occurring where there's simply child trafficking going on. There's people that want to get into this country, they just grab a kid or steal a kid or take a kid that's not theirs, and at the border they just say that this is their kid, and then they get in that way. But there's tremendous evil here in terms of what the left really is encouraging, correct?
Oh, I completely agree with you. It's total evil what's going on here. When Obama was in office, they had the same thing happen when a whole bunch of kids and these illegals came to America on the border, and they did the same thing in these same facilities. What the people aren't talking about are all the people that they put on buses, specifically kids, children, and then they bust them to the rest of the country, and they don't know where they went. And they're still asking, where did those kids go? So now all of a sudden we have extra DACA kids in this country that they're trying to get them to vote.
Right. Okay. So, but here's the thing. Trump was saying that today as well, that, you know, on his Twitter, you know, if Trump wasn't allowed to tweet and he didn't use Twitter, we'd never get the truth on so many matters, because he's also pointing out that parents are sending their kids on very dangerous trips.
Yes.
You know?
Yes, they are.
So, but Will, here's my question. If a person doesn't want his or her family to be separated, then don't cross the U.S. border illegally with your kids.
Well, see, I don't think they're actually relaying that information to these people that are coming up to the border. I don't think they're letting them know that if you get here, they're going to remove you from your children or take your children and put them in a different area while they ask you questions and try to figure out what's your intent. Why are you here? Why did you come? How many times have you been here? How many times have you been deported? You know, because they don't want to talk to them while the children are right there, because it's a distraction. They can't get the job done even quicker. It's the same thing when people commit crimes here. They don't put the children in the prison cell with you. They don't do it.
Absolutely. So, Will, look, all these leftists right now going on about evil President Trump. Hey, look, tell us a little bit, expand a little bit for us on what was going on under Obama, because I think there's two sides here. The lack of enforcement led to evil, but there was also enforcement that was just as quote unquote bad or worse if we're talking about through leftist eyes.
Well, you know, under Obama, like I said earlier, they were busing children to different places, and not just children, men and women. They were busing different places throughout the country and not telling anybody where they were going. These facilities were already here in place. Most of the photos that we've seen out there with the children laying on the cots with the tinfoil blankets, those photos from when Obama was in office, when the people were coming up. And a lot of people were posting them and sharing them, and they were going viral saying, look what Trump is doing. And it wasn't even under Trump's administration. This facility did not get built when Trump became president. To my understanding, it was built when Clinton was in office.
Absolutely. And you know, the stats and the facts, they have, like under Obama, there was like 90,000 kids in detention facilities and in horrible conditions, much worse than today. Again, silence from the media, and we're understanding why. And so let's get to that a bit now here. Well, obviously there's a war on Trump, and these Democrats don't care about children. And so let's talk about that for a minute. If the Democrats really cared about children, and I watch a lot of your work, I watched one of your recent videos, just powerful, fascinating stuff. So let me raise some of the stuff you raised, because you're just dead on a lot of this stuff, Will, that a lot of people don't talk about. So if the Democrats are against separating families, then why are the Democrats supporting policies that break up the black family? Can we talk about that?
You're absolutely right. The Democrats have put in policies where it started with LBJ, probably before him, but I'm going to start with LBJ. When LBJ was president, he said that he'll have every voting Democrat within 200 years. He successfully did it within 60 years. And one of the things that they were giving black people is that, hey, as long as you don't have a man in the household, you can have children, and we will give you housing and government assistance with money. So a lot of black women say, oh, I can have babies as long as I don't have a man in the household, and they're going to give me money. They're going to give me this. Give me, give me, give me. And look what happened. Right now, we have in the black community, we have more kids in poverty. We have more kids that's committing crimes, more kids that's out there selling drugs, more kids that are completely dropping out of high school, uneducated, and it's all designed by the Democratic Party. The same reason why we have all of these homeless in LA right now today, over 50,000 people. Where's their compassion for all the women and children in LA right now? Where's it at? And on the border, in these facilities, they showed a video where they're giving these children and the men and women 3 square meals a day. They have a place to sleep. In Texas, it's hot and humid outside, but inside this facility, they're keeping the temperature around 72 to 75 degrees. That's comfortable. That's privilege. That's privilege a lot of people don't even get in this country. So they don't care about the American people.
Absolutely, Will. And look, when you were talking about Lyndon Johnson just now, quoting him, and you paused for a second, that pause is because when Lyndon Johnson boasted about how his policies were going to get the Democrats the black vote, in that one infamous quote and that ugly quote, he used the N-word. And so you've got a Democrat who uses the N-word, boasting how he's going to have black people on his plantation. Where is the Democratic outrage at that?
You know, there is no Democratic outrage. You know, I think there's only been one Democrat president, in my opinion, that actually got it right, and that was Kennedy. When he was saying, do not ask what your country can do for you, but ask what you can do for your country, they killed him over that. That's part of the reason. That's not the main reason, but they killed him over that. Because they want people to depend on the government. These people that they're bringing in on the border, they're setting them up to depend on the government. Just remember, when we make it possible for you to vote, remember who you need to vote for, because we just bought your vote.
Will, the Democrats and the media are so worried about the children. For years, I've been watching Anderson Cooper, Rachel Maddow, Don Lemon, all of their guests, all of the commentary, all da-da-da-da-da-da. Did I miss something? Where was their outcry at the kids that were killed by the illegals coming into this country?
Yeah, where's the outcry when you have illegals kidnapping kids? Where's the outcry when you have Planned Parenthood killing children by the thousands every day? Where's the outcry? Where's the outcry with the kids homeless in America that need help today? They don't even talk about them. They don't even mention them. They act as if they would see. The main reason why they're doing this is because they're trying to make Donald J. Trump, our president, and any conservative that support the president, to be a racist, bigoted person that don't like people from other countries, unless you're white. And you're exactly right. There is a war on Donald Trump, and there's a war on Donald Trump because he's a white man. If he was black, do you think they would be doing the same thing? They may be talking about some things, but they wouldn't be trying to label them racist like they do Donald Trump. And the only reason why they're doing it because he is white.
Now check this out, though. If he was a black conservative, I don't think the left hates anybody more. In terms of also what you're experiencing today. So let's talk about the left's, because the left loves to point the finger, racist, 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 racist. Will Johnson, you're a black American, you're a conservative. Take a little bit of time to tell us a bit about how leftist blacks and leftist whites have treated you and what they've called you in terms of names and racism?
Well, you know what? They've called me the coon. They call me the N-word. They call me Uncle Tom. They call me Juju Bean. They call me some of the stuff I can't even repeat what they called me. Some of them really colorful. And a lot of times what I'll do is I'll take screenshots of them and I don't share them on Facebook or anything, because if I do, then they'll ban me for sharing the hate that someone's sending to me. But ever since I became a conservative, and every single day, just paying attention what's going on, my eyes are even open up even more every single day. I see the craziness from the liberal left. I see how the Democrats are wanting to enslave black people, brown people, and white people. They're not enslaving them like they used to, having them pick cotton. It's a different way of slave mentality. It's in your mind. As long as you vote for them, they don't care what you do. They want to control you. They want the power. That's all it is about them. And Donald J. Trump, he's doing just the opposite. He's doing things that are great for America, not just for white people, brown people, or black people, but all of us together. And me being a black conservative, they really hate it. I had one guy tell me, he said, you know what, Will, you're like kryptonite to the liberals, because I just crush their narrative. And I'm not the only one. Black people out there everywhere that's waking up. And even not just black people, people such as yourself, waking up and understanding what the Democrats are doing. The Democrats don't care about us. They don't care about the people in this world at all. Personally, the Democrats answer to one entity, and that's Satan. And a lot of people don't like to hear me say that, but I believe that.
Well, you know, you've really got to stop beating around the bush and start saying what you really think. But, well, Will, we would be on the same page, because I definitely see a spiritual war here. And there's a spiritual battle. And the left is just, there's a derangement syndrome going on. They hate Trump so much. And where we would agree is, I think Trump represents a lot of good things. And evil always hates good. And let's crystallize this issue now. All that's really happening at this moment, in terms of how the left's trying to slant this in terms of separation of families, Trump is evil, etc., etc. What's really happening is very simple. Trump is enforcing the law.
Yes.
And what would you say about that?
And you know what? They don't like the fact that he's enforcing the law. They don't like the fact that when he says he's going to do something, he does it. For example, Israel, he said he was going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. That's exactly what he did. He said he was going to negotiate with Kim Jong-un and try to bring peace. That's still in the process, but he's done it. They fear him because he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's keeping his promises to the American people. He wants this country to be a law and order country. He doesn't want us to be lawless. That's exactly what the Democrats want. That's what they're all about.
Well, it's very interesting, the people who are surrendering, even on quote unquote our side, or people who are supposed to be on our side. And it's so sad, because President Trump, you know, I'll be honest with you too. You're a very honest guy. I'll just say it. I think that Trump is a gift from God. I think he's been sent here. I think this is a providential godsend. If Hillary had won that election, I mean, oh my God, what would have happened to this country? So thank you, Lord, for Donald Trump. And then, Will, why would Laura Bush do what she just did? Why would you do that?
Laura Bush did that because her husband could not do anything close to what Donald J. Trump, our president, is doing. I like to think of it that she's probably jealous. She's upset. She's part of the globalist system. See, the Bushes had this dynasty along with the Clintons, and they're all part of the globalist system. That's what they all wanted. And here comes Trump getting us out of the TPP, getting us out of the Paris Climate Agreement, getting us out of all of these globalist agendas. And they don't like it. That's why you have Tom Steyer attacking him. I truly believe that Tom Steyer had Tom Steyer had ties to some of these globalist agendas, these companies that's going on, and it hurt him when Donald J. Trump dropped out of the Paris Climate Agreement and the TPP, because all of a sudden that's when he started coming up with the impeachment.
Right. Well, there's definitely something going on with the globalist forces, Islam, the left. Something's really going on, and we know that Trump is in their way. Now, Will, I was watching one of your videos, and I really got to hand it to you. You have a very perceptive, shrewd grasp on what's going on here because, for instance, one of my fields that I've studied throughout my life is the left and how the left is allied with these evil forces and our adversaries. Now, Anna Geifman, for instance, is the author of a book called Death Orders, and she documents how the Nazis, how the Bolsheviks, how they utilized and exploit children, and how the Palestinian death cult exploits children. These totalitarian forces, they always exploit the innocents for their evil agendas. And you pointed out that even right now we see a replica of that, a carbon copy of that, of actually right at this moment what the Democrats are doing with this issue of family separation, etc. They're actually, it's a carbon copy. Just like Hamas exploits children for its agenda, so too these leftists today are actually exploiting children for their totalitarian agenda. Can you speak on that?
Yeah, you know what? When I started looking at it, it's just like the Palestinians, Hamas. When they attacked the Israelis, they always put their children up in front and center. Same thing when they shoot the rockets from the buildings. The buildings that they're shooting these rockets from happen to be children hospitals for Palestinians. So when the Israelis defend themselves and take out these locations where they're shooting the rocks, or when they're standing on the front line and they put the kids in front of them and they're throwing these rocks, throwing these cocktail bombs, and then the Israelis protect themselves, they literally end up harming children. And then the first thing they say is, look what you're doing to the children. Because see, they know putting children out there, and when they get hurt, the world looks and says, oh my goodness, they're doing this to children. When it's the Palestinians and the liberals. And I truly believe that there's a virus on this planet that's going around and has affected so many people. And this virus have people thinking that they have to use children to get at them. The same thing happened with Hitler. Hitler used children. Oh, the children. We have to protect the children. Yeah. And that's how it all started.
And the left is doing that today. Will, and so many people are they're just losing their minds. I mean, you see Bill Maher. Bill Maher is he wants the whole country to collapse just to prove Trump wrong. Now Kathy Griffin, I think, who arguably lost her mind maybe a long time ago, but she's saying some of the ugliest things about the First Lady. What did you think about the Kathy Griffin whole thing? Do you think she's completely lost her mind, or what's going on there? It's very reflective of the left.
So I have to be honest with you. I haven't heard her talk about the First Lady. I know Kathy Griffin did the whole decapitate the head of the president, but I haven't seen her talk about it. So I'm going to most definitely have to look that one up, because I can't really speak on that one.
Very intriguing tweet recently. Anyway, they're losing their minds. Before we go, Will Johnson, what should the audience walk away from this show thinking if it's just going to be one idea?
If it's one idea, I would ask everyone this. If Satan went and stood before the DNC and was telling everybody at the DNC about his policies, do you think the Democrats would disagree with him? I would say no.
Yeah, especially the key is if he was against Trump, right?
Oh, yeah, of course he's going to be against Trump, because Trump moved the embassy to Jerusalem. The Israelis are going to start building their temple. He brings God into everything, all of his meetings, everything. They don't like that.
Absolutely. Well, I think it's when you see the left responding today, it's sort of like somebody that's about to be exorcised in an exorcism when you throw holy water on them. You almost think that their head's going to spin in a circle. Will, so many of our viewers are on the edge of their seat right now, I can tell you, because we get a lot of feedback when you're on. and let's say there's a lot of, and I know there's going to be a lot of new people watching this tonight, they want to support you, they want to find you and back you up, where do they visit you?
They can find me at uniteamericafirst.com, or you can go what you see, if you can see this on my mic, votethemout.org. Because we got to vote them out in 2018. If we don't vote them out in 2018, I'm talking about Democrats. If we don't vote them out in 2018, we all lose. It doesn't matter who you are, or what party you're affiliated with. We all lose if we don't vote them out. That blue wave is nothing compared to the red tsunami that's coming.
Uh-oh. Will Johnson, thank you for being such a noble and courageous truth teller in our world today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Keep up the battle, my friend. And the Glazov gang loves you and is 100% behind you. We're very grateful to you for everything that you're doing.
Thank you. And you too, sir.
Thank you. We'll hope to see you back soon. Thank you for watching the Glazov gang this evening. If you like what we do, please remember we're a fan-generated program. Go to jamieglazov.com to support the show. And please try to motivate everyone to be subscribed to the YouTube channel of the Glazov gang. Good night.